I've just tightened up the fuel tank bolt at the front. The one at the rear was okay, it nipped up a bit. The one at the front was really loose. So I've tightened that up, and then I went to start the engine to see if things had quietened down a bit. Would you believe I can't start the engine? The electrics are dead. Now, we got the wiring loom is fastened by a clip that the tank nut and bolt pass through, so that is a suspect there. The loom appears to be fairly recent, Lucas, made in England, and it all looks in pretty good shape actually, but I'll investigate. I've already tried wiggling the wires around here and even loosening the tank back off a bit, but also I noticed that the ammeter, which we don't normally have on a Tiger Cub, is dead. The lights still come on, but the engine won't fire, and this appears to be sort of pressed fairly tightly against the handlebars. So I'm going to take the top of the nacelle off and have a look in there at the wires. I think it's just a coincidence more than anything that it's died since I've done this, but it could also point towards that occasional misfire that we've had that hasn't, or didn't appear to have completely gone away. I noticed it once or twice when I was riding. It certainly seemed better than it had been before, but I'm going to have a good look in here and see if I can find anything in there. But you really couldn't make that up, could you? You're a loose petrol tank, so you tighten that up and then find that the engine won't run because the electrics are dead, or half of them are. Anyway, I'll hopefully dig into it and find out what it was and report back. As well as the ignition being completely dead now, I also seem to have a dead short if I turn the lights on full. Side lights are fine, turn them on to full, the ammeter goes way over. But interestingly enough, I don't know whether the camera will pick this up or not. I just had a general look around, and under the seat there's a red wire just sort of hanging in fresh air that's come out of something. So I'm going to get the seat off and have a look in there. And also, obviously I've got the top of the nacelle off, so I've got access to the switch and this ammeter that someone's added. All sorts of stuff really. So quite a few things to check. Hopefully I'll get it. And if it's anything to do with that wire under the seat that's obviously pulled out of a connector, then that might explain the misfiring we've had and suggest that we were lucky to get home. But we'll have a look soon enough. There we are with the seat off, and there's the red wire that I saw. That one there, and that is obviously meant to go in that connector with the red on it, on the ignition coil. So that's where our sparks went at least. So I can sort that out. I'm not quite sure that that would necessarily have anything to do with the dead short we seem to have developed when I switched the lights on, but one thing at a time, and at least that is a definite cause, an explanation for at least some of the trouble that seems to have reared its head since I tightened the fuel tank bolts, believe it or not. It was running fine right up to the moment where I switched this machine off here, and then I tightened the fuel tank, went to restart it, nothing. You really couldn't make these things up. How can that wire come out of there at the very moment that I tighten the fuel tank bolts up? Truly is a great mystery. Anyway, at least I found it and I can deal with it. So that's what I'm going to do.